Okay, we're on the YouTube. Damn, it's nice out too. It's getting real nice out. It's kind of windy today. More coffee. Oh. Is this for me to stop? All of it? Right. Oops. Hey, welcome everybody on the YouTube. How's everybody doing? Had to get some more coffee. Let's see what we got. Hey, yo, got this from my boy Trice. Hey. Hey, welcome everybody. Tap the screen. Yo, David Joe, was that you, Basante? Yo, appreciate that. Thank you. Yo, they're mad. This is what makes them mad, yo. Damn, it's that early? It's 9:30 over there? Holy fuck, I'm up early today, yo. God damn. Woo. Had to wipe my face down. It's 12 where I'm at. Yo, that's crazy. Y'all are way behind, yo. Y'all are way behind. Y'all are way behind. Day's already halfway over with, yo. Day is already halfway over with over here. It's already noon. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, guys. It's 12:18 where I'm at. New York time, yo. We're in a different thing. Yeah, on the thing right here. Is that you singing? No, I don't watch that shit. Sorry.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% your first year at lifelock.com/Pandora. Terms apply.
This Father's Day, find the gift Dad really wants at the Home Depot. Discover tools under $30 Dad will enjoy putting to work right away. Tools that help him keep living his best dad life and be ready for whatever needs doing around the house, the yard, and everywhere in between. For the one who's always been there for you, give him a gift he'll truly appreciate with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Shut up!
Yo, yo, hey. Yo, yo, hey.
Is that you?
Hey. Yo, hey. Yo, yo, hey.
You need to roll another one up or something. Born in the island, your dad's Hindu? I don't understand. Hey, what's up, everybody? Yep. Nobody seems to know what I'm talking about. Article 42. I'll listen to it when I get off. Yo, but I'm digging this picture behind me, though. Wish I could show you guys. I really wish I could show you guys. Hold on. I think I can show you guys. Yeah, that's crazy. Article 42. Nobody knows, seems to know. Nobody cares. Ready, mate? Look for my boy real quick. Yo, where they at though? Why they all scared to debate? Why they all watching from the shadows, but they don't want to send a request? Is it because they know I'd school them? Yeah, I think they know I'd school them. I think they know that would happen. Yo, TikTok needs to do something about that SMOKING. TikTok needs to do something about that quick. Yo, so I figured it out. They're fucking reptilian frogs, yo. That's what they are, yo. They're fucking frogs. They're reptilian frogs and they can fucking read minds, yo. That's why they got fucking bunch of dots on their face sometimes. Like they look like bullfrogs sometimes, yo. But they're frog people. Hold on, I'm getting it right now. They're fucking bullfrogs, yo. You guys gotta follow my boy Trice. He's got tons of info, yo. He's pretty good. I'm trying to find his fucking picture though. Where the fuck is it, yo? The fuck is the Dennis Open one? Alright, here we go. Alright, I got you guys. Watch this. Where the fuck is it? Oh, right here. I got it. No, I don't. What is that? But for those on YouTube, look at this shit. I know y'all see that. I know y'all are fucking with that. Yeah, we got flagged, y'all. We got flagged.
Grab a fried bread by the ponytail or two.
Yo, that guy's so mad. You hear this guy?
Grab a fried bread by the ponytail or two braids. Make the feet think how to ask.
Make him feet dangle how the ancestors used to. Yeah, he's mad. He's mad. You guys never did that to a native. You know natives own slaves. Natives own slaves. Y'all never did that to a native. A native did that to y'all. Y'all never did that to a native, though. Natives own slaves, so shut your bitch ass up. That's what hurt motherfuckers do. Hurt dogs bark. I got a video of that guy getting knocked the fuck out, getting his shit split right on the concrete, too. That's why he's mad. Because there's a video of him getting knocked the fuck out, like, real bad. Yeah. He was all wobbly, too. So that's why he's mad. Hurt dogs bark. Remember that. Hurt dogs bark. Hurt dogs bark. My daughter, your voice already knows who you are. Hey. Hey. Hello. Scan up. Let's get it. They're mad at the information that I'm providing. Because I'm proving Native Americans were not savages, that it was actually they were the savages. You need a slat V? What's that? A slat V? A slat V? What the fuck is that? I'm interested in the picture, Denisovan DNA. Okay. So Native Americans possess this DNA and they measure it. The Denisovan DNA is the Indian DNA. It's what makes you indigenous. It's the oldest DNA. Denisovan came before Homo sapiens. So did Neanderthal. Native Americans have this DNA, a lot of it. Denisovan, Neanderthal, sapien. We got 2 ghost ancestors too. So if you don't have Denisovan DNA, you're not old. Denisovan DNA is the Nephilim. That's the giant DNA. If you don't have this DNA, you are not old. You are not ancient. You need this DNA to be ancient. Other than that, you're just a regular little human. That's it. You're not the men of renown and old. You know, you're not that. You're a little human, little bipedal human. They're sheep and frogs, bro. I know. I got another picture for you guys too. Well, it's on this one. Hey, Victoria with a $37 donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. I just got it now. I just checked it. Don't East Asians have a lot of Denisovan DNA? East Asians have a lot of Native American DNA. That's what you mean. They got a lot of Native American DNA. Tartarian DNA. No. They're Tartarians, but they have Native American DNA. We also have some Tartarian DNA. People went back and forth over the Beringia land bridge. And it wasn't just that way, it was into Europe too. We went into Europe. That's why you got Fingolia. They think it's ancient native they think it's ancient Siberian DNA. No, that is fucking Native American DNA. The fuck are you talking about? They don't know what we know. They don't know what we know. Listen.
The theory of Fingolia is elite ball knowledge. Fingolia is a combination of the countries Mongolia and Finland. They say some Finnish people resemble East Asians. People always thought they resembled Asians, but couldn't prove it until DNA test came out. Not all Finnish people have this phenotype. Finnish people carry roughly 5% to 10% ancient Siberian admixture. They say it was introduced to that region 3,500 years ago by migrations from Northern Asia. Automatically, people assume that Siberians from East Asia during the Mongol/Tartarian Empire reached all the way to Finland and mixed in that way. That is false. It is Native American DNA. They don't give our people the credit for traveling the world. It was Native Americans that discovered Europe, not Europeans discovering Turtle Island. Finland is in Western Europe. Finland would be easier to reach by water than it would be going all the way from East Asia. Finland and Siberia are on opposite sides of the Eurasian continent. North America is just across the Atlantic Ocean. The Vikings or Knights Templar also may have brought this DNA back from their travels to the Americas during the past 3K year period. It's Native American DNA because sometimes our DNA gets classified as East Asian. Siberians are Native Americans that migrated out of the Americas. Native Americans reached Germany by the 1470s. In 1477, Christopher Columbus met 2 heavily tatted Native Americans, a man and woman of extraordinary appearance on a 2-canoe boat connected with a sail in Galway, Ireland. Columbus noted men of Cathay Asia have come from the west. Of this we have seen many signs, and especially in Galway in Ireland, a man and a woman of extraordinary appearance have come to land on 2 tree trunks. In his notes, he also talked about bodies with strange features washing on the shore. It's obvious that these features were Native American features. Asians are just Native Americans. The next time you see an Asian, just knowing you're looking at an ancient descendant of a Native American.
That's fact. So the world got it wrong. They think everybody comes from Africa, and that's completely false. There's not enough life, fresh water, or vegetation now to support life there, let alone originating there. All the life is in the Americas. All the mammals, all the primates originated here, and they consider humans that, right? America sits on the first tectonic plate out of the water, which proves our creation story to be true, that this world was a water planet, and then North America, Turtle Island, was the first land out of the water, right? It was actually Pangea, and it was different kinds of Pangea, Rodinia, Gaia, Eurasia, Gondwana, different names. Lots of it is Algonquin based too. The ancient ancestor goes back to Egypt, fleeing from Ani Hill. I'm learning a lot about these Algonquin actually. They got the Walam Olam. They got the story of Noah. They migrated here. They migrated here from Asia, or they came back, one or the other. They migrated out and came back. I think that's what happened. But yeah, they have the story of Noah, the great white one, Nana Bush. Nana Bush, Noah's Ark.
What if we found the anchors of Noah's Ark miles from any sea? Near the Darupanar site in Turkey, Ron Wyatt
A flood is coming to wipe out the world.
I always knew where my ideas were pointing. I just never had a way to actually get there. But this is where Wix Harmony changed that. Now, I can take something that only exists.
A series of 95 chiefs lead them across America, eventually settling on the East Coast. Along this journey, they face harsh climates, beasts, famine, and wars with the dreaded snake people called the Makowini, or the Big Men. Giants who practiced dark magic who were associated with the evil snake. The last glyph describes encountering white men on ships in 1620 and reads, "Who are they?" When the Walam Olam first came on the scene, it was put under tough scrutiny by heavyweight scholars of the 19th century. Scholars like Daniel Brinton and Smithsonian author E.G. Squire published extensive studies boldly supporting the Walam Olam as a
Oh, about the Fingolia? That's not out yet. It's not out. It's something that I typed up.
authentic Lenape history. A later publication of the Indiana Historical Society in 1954 also largely supported its credibility. Then, in the 1990s, the Walam Olam came under attack by those who were threatened by just how strongly it aligned with Scripture, causing some to lose faith in its credibility. But the tables turned just a few years ago when Harvard-trained geneticist Dr. Nathaniel Jeanson revealed overwhelming support for its validity. By tracing the Y chromosome markers passed down from father to son across generations, Jeanson confirmed the migratory routes, direction, and even timing in the Walam Olam.
The Delaware people, they were one of the East Coast Algonquian peoples, have a document called the Red Record or the Walam Olam. This document describes the migration, and the dates that we can infer from internal clues in the Red Record are exactly in line with genetics. So my argument to those who doubt the authenticity and veracity of this record is to say, okay, if you think Rafinesque forged a document in the early 1800s, how is it possible that he could do such a good job forging it that he
Yo, David, that makes sense because we have Reformed Egyptian that Tonawanda Seneca elders knew.
anticipated genetic discoveries?
It's kind of like Micmac, though, too. So they must have made contact with the Micmac as well, because that's also where they came.
200 years in the future. I don't think that's possible. It
Same with the
seems
Knights Templar.
implausible. Instead, I think the explanation is Rafinesque obtained an authentic Delaware document that described an authentic history, and it's a vital clue to understand the origin of the Algics, the Wampanoag, the Massachusetts, and their backstory, where they were when they arrived in Massachusetts before the Pilgrims arrived. I want you to notice that this reconstruction, I'm following heavily David McCutcheon's reconstruction. So this book cover is actually from his 1993 translation, and I've redrawn here from the clues in the Red Record that he used to infer where they were at specific times. Now, let me add one more piece of data here that'll help you understand this better. The crux of the Red Record is a list of sachems or chieftains or leaders. They call them sachems. Essentially, so-and-so, look at the name, so-and-so was the sachem and we started agriculture. Something significant that happened during his reign. So-and-so was the sachem, we started recording our histories. So-and-so was the sachem and we fought these people over here. So-and-so was the sachem and then we lost to these people over here. It's reads like straightforward history. And from those clues, we can infer where they were at what time and what they were doing. But I want you to notice that this reconstruction begins in the northwest, goes south, but then basically proceeds west to east, which is exactly what the hierarchy from linguistics shows, a west to east migration. So it's not just that the Red Record...
You see that shit? That's crazy, huh? Now it makes sense of the Denisovan DNA, right? And the giant DNA. So they said they fought these giants that had black magic, knew black magic, and we knew that the Nephilim had ancient technology, right? You got supercomputer, you got fallen angel technology. So the Nephilim are not the fallen angels. The fallen angels are the Nephilim's parents, one of the parents, the sons of gods mated with the daughters of man. Daughters of man being like the monkey people, basically. And the fallen angels are these angels like what Sky Woman was that fell from the highest heaven and mated with man on earth and made birth these race of giants, being the Denisovans. And the Denisovans are the oldest too. So they got Denisovan, Neanderthal, Sapiens, the youngest, the newest. All three are human. Anything before that's like monkey, part monkey. The giants are not fallen angels, no. No. Their parents. Their parents are fallen angels. Yeah, so you got fallen angel DNA. If you're Native American, you got Nephilim DNA. That's why you got a blood quantum like Gilgamesh. You got your blood quantum of Indian degree. Indian comes from Endios, of God. Your degree of God blood. Indian blood. Your degree of Indian blood, your degree of Endios blood, your degree of God blood. Gilgamesh had a blood quantum. He was 2/3 God. Nimrod had a blood quantum. He was 3/4 God. Understand? We have been enslaved on our own land and our own prison and our own thing. They're trying to fulfill prophecies. They're trying to speed up the end times by fulfilling prophecies. Okay, we got to enslave this group of people on their own land. Check. Boom. They're fulfilling prophecies by speeding up time, by making shit happen. Putting shit into, knocking over the dominoes, basically. Australasians have the most Denisovans DNA, and they weren't giants. They were about 5'3" to 5'5". So the Austronesians, those are our cousins. We're related through them through Lemuria and Kumeria and the Lost Continent, Amu, and our Hawaiian oceanic relatives. We're related to them through that way. We have a wide population that we share with them. So they're not all the way Denisovan. Yeah, they may have the most Denisovan DNA, but the characteristics, the gene or phenotype of being giant didn't stick with them. It died out. That was a dominant gene. I don't even think they got stories of giants over there. Like, they have not found a giant over there. I think they're more like pygmy. I think they're more little people. I think their pygmy DNA is a little bit stronger. Time has been going by super fast. Very fast.
Is consistent with genetics. It's also consistent with linguistics, and I'll give some examples here in a minute. It's also consistent with other nations' indigenous histories. So what exactly is the backstory then to the Algics, the Algonquins? What does their history say? 900s, they arrive in Alaska across the Bering Strait, and they talk about immediately fighting enemies, that there were people here before them. And this is consistent with genetics and other things that I don't have time to get in.
So you're saying that the Algonquins migrated in through Siberia during the year 900. Some people have just got here, they're saying. Iroquois have always been here. Iroquois began here. Algonquin, different story. Probably why we fought with them too. We did fight a lot with the Algonquin. So that makes sense that like we would be fighting invaders.
Two, it's authentic. At contact,
that guy is wrong. This isn't coming from him. This is coming from their own people, bro. Lenape. It's coming from their own red record of the Walam Olam. It's an account that lines up with the Bible pretty much. They're wooden tablets. So if you watch my content, you would know that we talk about tablets, conspiracies, and fucking shit like that over here. So, I mean, you can believe that they didn't migrate here, but I'm just going off of what the tribe's saying. The tribe's saying that they came in through, they got a whole migration. And I got into an argument with this one guy about it too, like a year ago. And he was right. He was right. Because I was like, no, Native Americans are Native Americans. That's why we're called Indigenous Americans. We didn't migrate here. And he was telling me, he was saying, yeah, we did. My people did. Algonquin did. I was like, whatever, bro. If you want to call yourself a Siberian, by all means, go ahead, bro. Now I'm learning. Yeah, they really do have a migration story of coming in. They have a migration story. That's their tribe. That's not my tribe, though. They came here in the year 900 AD. That's the Vikings were here before them. So you see how that's problematic? It's like, yeah, go ahead, admit to that if you want. But that's your story. That's not my story. My people aren't Algonquin. My people don't even speak your language. So they got wooden tablets, and a lot of people think they're fake tablets. A lot of people think a lot of the tablets in America are fake.
Dominant peoples on the west.
Yes, I'm Lenape, also known as Delaware. You know about the Red Record, the Walam Olam and Nanabush, Noah, the Great White One, and all that? There's only three real Lenape tribes in the States. Two in the States.
Western coast, Pacific coast of Alaska were the members of the Eskimo Aleut language family. They weren't just in Alaska at contact, they had reached all the way over to Greenland. Archaeology identifies an eastward migration from Alaska eastward, eventually ending up again in Greenland. And what's interesting is the timing archaeologically. This west to east migration is very close to the timing of the Algic arrival, which implies a potential cause-effect relationship. As if the Algic arrived, they talk about defeating enemies, and perhaps the losers, perhaps the Eskimo Aleut language family members, as a result, go fleeing eastward, eventually ending up in Greenland. Another group of peoples in Alaska at the time of contact which is a good starting point for thinking backwards in time about who may have been there, were members of the Athabascan language family. These may not be familiar to you, but if you've ever heard of the Apache or Navajo, who were in Arizona and New Mexico at the time of contact, they are members of the Athabascan language family. The Mescalero Apache in particular have, as part of their girls' puberty ceremony, a recounting. This 4-day ceremony retells the history of their migration. They talk about.
We were just talking about that. The Hindus in India do the same thing.
But we came from the north, the land of cold and ice, and went south. This fits linguistics. This is actually technically the Ayak.
So I learned that it was the Eskimos that were actually Athabascans, and they got banished to the north. And there's other versions that say they got banished and chased by a giant monster to the north, and they got stuck beyond. They got banished beyond the northern lights. Now they call Hyperboreans beyond the northern lights. And they even Eskimos say they came from somewhere even colder, further north, like the North Pole. And there's actually an entrance to Agartha there.
Athabascan language family.
They also call the North Pole the Garden of Eden.
The deepest division linguistically in this family is between Ayak, way up here in Alaska, and the rest of the Athabascans, implying or consistent with them originating up there and then eventually going southward. These may have also been people that the Algics encountered when they first arrived and defeated. By the AD 1000s, the Algic were further south, going down the western part of Canada. Again, the majority of the Red Record talks about so-and-so is the sachem, here's what happened. So-and-so is the sachem, here's what happened. During this period, they say 10 sachems passed. They don't name the sachems. 10 of them passed without names, and they say this was a time of much evil. It's unclear whether the Algics were the cause of the much evil or the recipients. Either way, history wasn't recorded, or it was history I don't think they wanted to talk about. Who may have been involved in this evil? At contact, members of the Salish language family were in the Pacific Northwest. Now, growing up in Wisconsin, I don't remember much learning about the Pacific Northwest peoples, so they weren't familiar to me. They may be familiar to you, the Salish language family members. Their own histories talk about migrating from the east westward. I think, again, based on details that I don't have time to get into, describe probably Minnesota or that region as the origin point, then migrating across the plains into a forest region, eventually ending up on the western coast, western region of the United States and Canada. I think they were likely there when the Algics passed that way and could have been involved in this time of much evil. At some point, the Algics move on the Great Plains. They talk about growing crops. On the Great Plains, this is now the AD 1100s, they mention a number of enemies they had to fight. I also want to mention that during this whole process, again, I said this is from the Delaware, but there's a lot of clues indicating this was not just a Delaware history. I think this is the ancestors of the Delaware, and it includes the ancestors of many other members of the Algic language family. There's 6 or 7 points in the Red Record where they say, at this period, this people group went away, or this subgroup broke away. Sometimes it's, hey, we multiplied, we were enjoying life, we needed more rooms, we kind of separated into different bands. Other times it's, there was a fight, and so these people were angry, and so they went away and left us. The timing and the number of these divisions correlates with linguistics. It correlates with the indigenous.
Everyone is saying, how did they cross the ice sheets? They were adapted to the climate like an Arctic fox or polar bear. They were also extremely tough. That's how they got through the ice sheet. And it's because people aren't looking at it the right way. People migrated out, and then people came back. That's what you guys got to understand. Like, life didn't begin in Africa. Life began in the Americas. Black people and white people come from Asians, and Asians come from Native Americans. They got it completely backwards. On purpose, actually.
Histories of other members of the Algic language family. So I can tell you that one of these divisions represents the separation of the Cheyenne Menominee. There's another one that's the Arapaho Gros Ventre, and I think the Cree. The Cheyenne's own history talk about coming from Minnesota. So I think effectively what's going on is the Algics are on.
That's why we look like everybody. I can look black, I can look white, I can look Asian, I can look Middle Easterner, I can look Aboriginal, I can look Indigenous. We can look like everything. It's because we're the original. You are the original human. You are the child of God and the child of Mother Earth. You're organic, you're a natural, you're a native. You are the child of God. You do not grow a beard. We're made in God's image. God didn't have a beard. God didn't have a fucking beard. That's why our features are so profound. You know what they call look maxing? You guys heard of looks maxing or whatever? It's basically just to look like a Native American. Looks maxing is basically just hunter eyes, high cheekbone, Native American features, yo. That's all looks maxing is. We're born naturally like that. We don't need to bone smash. We don't need to get deep Botox, rhinoplasty, high cheek. Yeah, we're born that way. We're born with those features. You're born naturally like that. Indigenous means first, original.
On the Great Plains, there's a group that breaks away and goes eastward.
First
That's where the
Nations
Cheyenne
for a
and Menominee
reason.
ended up. Later in history, close to or after contact,
That's
the
why the
Cheyenne
Africans want to be native. 'Cause they
moved
know
back
we're
westward
the
and then onto the
oldest.
Great Plains. And this is
Native Americans, the new world. It's still the new world to all of them. This is really the old world. They all migrated out. Asians migrated out and turned into black people and white people, mutated somehow.
the type of history we can begin to reconstruct with the Red Record, which is from the Delaware,
Some people
but
went the other way,
describes,
too.
I would contend, the history of
From
the
South
entire language
America
family.
to
There was a group of
Africa
enemies
to
that they
Australia,
described. There's also, of course, an internal
Oceania,
conflict, but a conflict that was
Lemuria,
external was with a group of people they
Cumeria,
called the North Walkers. This is
Rock Continent,
pre-European introduction of the horse. My presumption is everyone is moving by walking. But who are the North Walkers? Remember that the
That's what
Athabascan
Middle Easterners are. Middle Easterners and Egyptians are Native Americans. That's why they're red. They're not black. They're not white. They're not yellow. They're related to us the way we're related to South Americans and all that. Like, our ancestors were related. That's why they look like us.
language family was up here in Alaska, but that the Navajo and Apache are also members in Arizona, New Mexico at the time of contact. The Mescalero Apache migration account puts dates on their migration. And the Mescaleros say we were actually the last of 4 groups moving southward. To make a long story short, my guess is the timing of the Athabascan migrations, the timing of the Algic conflict here on the plains. If you put those pieces of data together, I think what's going on is the Algic are actually fighting the ancestors, the Athabascan ancestors who are migrating southward, possibly the ancestors of Apache and Navajo. Eventually, the Algic got tired of all that fighting on the plains and they said, let's just go eastward. It was at the Mississippi where they had the greatest battle, or where the greatest battle in all of pre-European North America occurred. Stick with us for the next episode where I'll give you the details, where we talk about the greatest hero in all of pre-Columbian North American history. To skip ahead, they eventually did.
What a boring day, y'all. Boring, y'all. It's mad boring in here. Yo, anybody saying that the Anunnaki is black, just show them a picture of this. This is how the Anunnaki depicted themselves. Blue eyes, pale skin, needing gold for their atmosphere because the sun is too powerful. Did you guys know that? That's why the Anunnaki were here. Because they were a pale-skinned race that needed gold from this planet to put metals in the atmosphere to help them from the sun. And what's weird is we are already doing that here on this planet. They put metals, cloud seeding in the atmosphere, right? Different metals, not gold, maybe gold, I don't know. But they're putting metals in the atmosphere, also in your body, and they shock it with frequencies and energy, right? And put algorithms in the metals and all that, like a computer chip to give it nice weather. Also, outcome however they want with algorithms. So that's what they're doing. That's what the Anunnaki came here to do. And they were a pale-skinned race of people, like Pleiadians. Anunnaki are not black at all. That's some of the biggest information. Do I think the Anunnaki and black nobility are connected? Yes. Black nobility is not black. They just call themselves that. They're not actual black people. Hey! So people are trying to say that the Dark Ages was black people and that all the black people died from the Black Plague or the Black Death, the way the natives died from disease. That Europe was actually all black Moors and black kings and black queens. And that they all died because the white man, the caveman, came in and went to war with them and somehow beat them with sticks and stones while they all had armor and swords and castles and all that, which is highly unlikely. Is the wild man real? Yeah, it's connected to the dog man. And that's what St. Christopher was, I'm learning. But I think that they're learning from my content too, because Native Americans have dogman. We have dogmen. We call the white man dogface because of his beard. It's like, I seen another guy talking about that. I was like, motherfucker, you listen to my content. It's just modern empirical measurement tools. That's why they don't want people listening to me too, is because I give you the actual raw, uncut truth. They don't want you to know the raw, uncut truth. They don't want you to know that everybody comes from Native Americans. That's why they've enslaved us. That's why we got blood quantum. If we came from Asians and Asians come from black people, fucking, why the fuck would our blood quantum even fucking matter? It's because we're the original people. We're the first nations. We're the naturals. We are the natives. We are Nephilim, like Gilgamesh and Nimrod. Having blood quantum, 2/3 God. Indian means of God. You got Indian degree of blood, degree of fucking blood, God's blood, yo. Like, come on, it's in your face. They're trying to make prophecies, fulfill prophecies by doing what the prophecy says. The prophecy says there will be a race of people, chosen people, enslaved on their own land. We are enslaved. We are an enslaved group of people. They've enslaved us. They stole our souls, the whole nine, yo. Enslaved on our own land. Tribes, your tribe, your reservation is a concentration camp. Prisoner of war camp. People think that this is their land. They're trying to fulfill prophecies and think that they're the chosen people. That's why they're always saying Native Americans are part of the lost tribes with us. No, you're not part of the lost tribes. We are, but we don't toot our own horn like that. Chosen people don't run around saying they're chosen. They're just chosen without that. That's why you don't see any of the Native Americans, Latinos, Mexicans out there with the Black Hebrew Israelites. That's why you got the Black Hebrew Israelites out there with our name on their list. What's wrong with having a beard? Nothing wrong with having a beard. Nothing wrong with having a beard. The Giants just didn't have one. Or the Denisovans didn't have one. The biblical giant didn't have one. What the fuck does that say? Tartarian or hunting Indian inhabiting the inland parts of North America. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm starting to see now. Also, remember Egypt and Morocco are in Africa. I know I've been to Africa. I've been to Egypt. And when I was in Egypt, I realized that's not African or white culture. It's not. It's Middle Eastern culture. It didn't feel like Africa. I felt like I was in Iraq or Afghanistan or like ancient Mesopotamia when I went there. I did not feel like Africa at all. Like, yeah, the further south you go towards like Sudan, like Luxor and Aswan, yeah, it feels you start to see more black people. But in Cairo, no, it felt like I'm in all the girls, all you see is their eyes, guys with AK-47s, fucking holding up, everything's in Arabic. Yalla, yalla. And I went during Ramadan too. So cool. I want to do my haplogroups. I'm gonna do one. I want to see. Hey, do we really got 15 people in here? That's cool. You went to Egypt. Agreed. I have Egyptian friends. Yeah, and they look Mexican, right? Yeah, they look Mexican. Egyptians look Mexican. Not even kidding, yo. Modern day Egyptians look fucking Mexican. All of them. They all look Mexican. That's because Egypt is not African or white culture. That's Atlantean culture. Atlantean. Egypt and Mesopotamia were colonies, and Israel. They all the Middle Eastern people, they're not yellow, they're not black, they're not white, they're red. They come from Atlantis, the same place that Aztecs come from. That's why they look Mexican. Take the turban off, throw a sombrero on them. Yeah, you're looking at. Yeah, they look like us, yo. That's what I'm saying, yo. It's hard to say they don't. Can I grow a beard, Seneca? I've tried to grow my facial hair out. It doesn't look good. I can grow a nice goatee, but my shit don't look nice on me, yo. My shit don't connect the way it does. Like, you guys can kind of see, like, some. Like, that's it. I don't grow anything right here. So, it's very patchy. Not even, like, it just kind of stops growing right here. It just grows right here and right here. Over here, it don't grow. Yeah. Like, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, it don't grow at all. Joy, supposedly white man says that natives are related to ancient Turks. What do you think about that? Through Tartarian, but remember, Siberia in East Asia is the new name of that place. It has always been called the Grand Tartary. So not all Native Americans have Tartarian DNA. I don't have East Asian or Siberian DNA. Not all natives have it. Some natives are like more Mexican native than they are East Asian Siberian native. Right? Like Athabascan, they're going to have Tartarian DNA. Siberia came in the 1600s. That's the new name. It's always been called the Tartaria or the Grand Tartary. And if you look at all the old maps, all of Asia was called Tartaria, even India. So I've heard that's another reason why they called us Indians, because we look like Tartarians and they used to dominate the Indian Ocean. So there's different theories out there. But it's not Tartarian. They want you to be ashamed. Oh, you're Asian. You're little, you know what? Right? No. Tartaria was Denisovan giants that were a builder race that built all the awesome fucking buildings, the Wall of China, sophisticated art, knowledge, technology, mathematics, science, all that. That's East Asia, Siberia. They don't want, yeah, that's a place called Grand Tartary. And it says it on all the old maps. And all the old maps are just copies of even older maps that are copies of even older maps. So that place has always been called Tartaria. Look it up. Look it up. What was Siberia called before it was called Siberia? How are you? How was your day off yesterday? It was good. I didn't go live yesterday, guys. I'm not doing that again because obviously you guys didn't miss me. It's a baby live. I thought I was going to have like 200 people in here, to be honest. Maybe it's because I'm on a backup account I haven't been going live on, but it's also because we're talking about too much truth. Way too much truth for anybody. I miss you like crazy. I know I wanted to hop on late last night. I was like, I better just go on. We were waiting for you yesterday. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not taking another break, though. That was whack. I turned 30 in 2 days. Yo, I turned 30 in 2 days, yo. Isn't that crazy? Yo, that's crazy to me. 30 in 2 days. What the fuck? I know, yo. May I ask what's the current map on your screen describing the migration of the Algonquin people? Algonquin speaking people. That's what that is. Better than turning 40. If I could turn 30 again. Yeah, yo. It doesn't feel like I'm 30. I feel like I was 18 just yesterday. 50 was a tough one. Sounds like it. Yo, why are people mad that the aliens are white? We already knew that the Anunnaki were tall whites. Everybody already knew that the Anunnaki are tall whites. That's why they were here, to get gold for their home planet, for their atmosphere, because they are a pale-skinned race of people. The Anunnaki are a pale-skinned race of people. They have blue eyes and sometimes green eyes, yo. They were here to grab gold to put in the atmosphere. They created the slave race. Took Homo Africanus, the African, the caveman, tinkered with his brain, put a worship gene inside of him. Slave gene. Made them addicted to gold. That's why certain groups of people love gold. They'll put it in their mouth. They'll put it in their hair. They'll put it all over their skin, all over the place. They wear it. But symbolically, slaves, they wore chains on their wrist, on their neck, all around them. Now look, it's a slave gene. It's a worship gene. And it goes back to these people, these tall whites, these Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were a pale-skinned race of people, almost hairy. If you look at all the men, they have beards, yo. They are bearded men. Hairy fucking men. Maybe even Neanderthals. But they have blue eyes. And they're pale. What a human is a sapien, Neanderthal, and a Denisovan. Anything before that is pretty much a monkey. Primate, hominid. Some people have that in them. That's why they appear that way or act that way. They love their gold. Your life path number is 7. You have the master number 11. You're a spiritual messenger. Yeah, yo, somebody told me that. I know I'm a master 11. Master 11 and 7. 7-11. I'm Indian. 7-11, I'm Indian. Ha! Not that kind of Indian. I'm the warrior kind. Warrior kind.
Didn't make it across the Mississippi,
kind.
where there were additional separations, origins of subgroups within the Algic language family. The Shawnee separated shortly after the crossing of the Mississippi. The Ojibwe or Chippewa would have as well. Their own.
Wait a minute. Don't you guys say the Chippewa is the Afro? But why is it saying that they came in? Hold on. Hold on. Oh! The Chippewa are Algonquin. But on their red record, Walam Olam, it says they came from Siberia or Tartaria. What the fuck? But you say a Chippewa is an Afro. Yo, they're trying to say that's the Chippewa right there. What about the Ijijis? What about them? They were Anunnaki too. They were the lower class, I think. I think they were the lower class. They were like how you got white people that are like high class, like the elites, the judges, the lawyers, the cops, the fucking mayors and all that, right? Superintendents, school principals, and fucking judges and whatever, right? Sheriff, right? And then you got like the Native Americans, the black people, the Mexicans, the lower class. I learned that the Ijiji were like the lower class, that they didn't want to work. They're like, fuck that, yo, we're not gonna work, make a slave race. So they took the Africanus and tinkered with his brain and put fucking worship gene, slave gene, diction genes, and it's like, yep, there you go. There you go. So why you guys saying you're Chippewa? You guys ain't Chippewa. That's not even his hair right there. That's not his hair. You know, how come he's the only one with hair like that? Why is he the only one with hair like that? Why? It's because that's not his real hair. That's a buffalo hide. Natives wear that shit all the fucking time, yo. Natives wear that shit all the fucking time. Watch this. One of these. It's one of those. You guys want to know what this is? What he's wearing on top of his fucking head? He's wearing one of these. That's what he's wearing. It don't have the fucking horns on it. He's wearing one of those. It just don't got the horns on it. That's what he's wearing. One of those. One of those. Stop lying all the time. God damn. Fact, it's a buffalo hide. It is. It's not an afro. It's not no fucking afro. No Indian got hair like that. Indians don't got hair like that. What do you think? That's fucking some fucking Soul Train fucking shit? The fuck? Moving like Soul Train? God damn. Got the trap house looking like Soul Train. 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 Need more coffee? Got the trap house looking like Soul Train. Oh, we're out of creamer? You wanna go get some? Trap house looking like Soul Train. That is funny. Funny. Funny, funny, funny. Yeah, so next time you see that, just know that's what they're doing. Hold on. For those, so we're looking at this picture. You guys seen this famous picture of this Indian right there? That's not her hair, because it's the only one. It's that. Looking like Soul Train. Yo, that's an easy debunk right there. 1, 2, 3. Yo, also, here's another good point. If they are the oldest people on the planet, why aren't they called First Nations? Why does nobody give a fuck about their blood quantum? Why aren't they called Indigenous or Aboriginals? Why does everybody care about our blood quantum? If we descend from everybody else, we descend from Asians that descended from fucking Eurasians that descended from Africans. Why the fuck would our blood quantum even fucking matter? It's because we don't come from them. We are the original Asians come from us, and white people and black people both come from Asians. Caucasians. Asian. Caucasian. The Caucasus Mountains are in Asia. Black people have a common ancestor, the Khoisan. They're an Asiatic group of people. That's why all black people are considered Afro-Asiatics. They didn't start out like that. They used to look like us. That's why the further you go back in white history and black history, the more like us they start to look. The first humans were not black or white. They were red. That's why Adam, the red earth, red man, right? Adam, Adamu, red earth, red clay, red man, the original man. That's why we call ourselves Ungwehoe, the original people, the real people. They are not real people like us. Yakub is their daddy. I learned about him last night, actually. Watch a corny-ass video. The Duwamis, about the Duwanis. Duwamis or Duwanis and the Darrow Tarot. It's like, bruh, like, we already learned about that stuff. Let me show you. Some lame-ass shit. Oh. That's what you sound like. Hey!
Height ranges from 5 to 6 feet. They are humanoid and have less water in their bodies.
Oh yeah, what's funny is this guy thinks black people are Anunnaki. Maybe, like, you guys are from the stars and all that, but we know the Anunnaki to be pale skinned and like Pleiadians. Hey! Also, that Tassim Deliza. You know he's African. His parents are African from Africa. And then his wife is African too. And he knows that what he's saying is lying. He made a coloring book and he's making money off of you guys, yo. Literally laughing, preying on your stupidity. He literally did it as a sick joke, just to be. He knows he's African and he's preying on Black Americans. He don't like Black Americans, and this is why he's so ignorant about his stuff and telling you guys are Anunnaki. He's literally clowning on you guys. Like, he's literally clowning on them. He's not being for real. Literally, Tassim Deliza is an African clowning on African Americans, making money on them, and they all think he's being for real. It's literally, he's not being for real. He's literally an African married to an African preying on Black Americans on their lack of intelligence. He's hoping that they hate being African so much that they'll pay money to learn how to pretend to be Indian. And he literally put convicted pedophiles on the back of the book just to be like, haha, you guys are this ignorant. Like, you guys, it's so funny.
And are pasty looking in
It's so
appearance.
fucked
The
up.
color of their
He's a
skin is
genius.
very
He's a
pale
fucking
and
genius,
is rubbery.
yo.
They have blonde hair. Their heads and eyes are similar to humans. The color of their eyes are blue or gray. They say they are here to help save the planet Earth. They communicate through speech. Their leader is Ashtar Shiran, who is
Should I wear my
also
earrings? I only wear my
Arusiat. These
earrings when I got my
blue-eyed,
braids in.
blonde-haired beings came to
When
the
I got my
planet
braids
Earth
in.
and are
It
still
doesn't look
here
that
on the
good when I got
planet
my hair
Earth. They
done
have
like
been
this. It don't
known
look
to
good.
wear
When I got my braids
insignias
in, they
from
look good, but
Taurus and Venus. You may see an insignia, it's like having a logo, yeah? And it may confuse you
having a
because some
logo,
of these
yeah.
beings are sharing planets since they were
Sure.
cast out of the 19th galaxy, Ilion, that which encompasses Pleiades. And you can read about that from other scrolls the masters put out, like Are There UFOs, Extraterrestrials in Your Midst, and Extraterrestrial in Creation, which is scroll number 1 through
I was
6.
listening to this guy
Okay?
yesterday. This guy yesterday until he started saying the Anunnaki were black. It's like, so what are you? Are you an alien from another planet, or are you the original organic natural being of this planet? Which one? You can't be both. Can't be both. Were you the slaves in the Bible, or were you over here in America? Can't be both. Were you the kings of Europe, or were you natives over here? Can't be both. Were you lost tribes, or were you over here being awesome. Yeah, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, I was listening to him, and then he started talking about black Anunnaki, and it was like, all right, bro. I didn't even want to watch. I left the comment saying, you know, the Anunnaki never ever been black. Neither were the Tartarians. Neither were the Atlanteans. None of these were black civilizations. If they were, y'all, Africa would be like the most sophisticated, technologically wise. They wouldn't be a third world country. Everybody wouldn't have to send 38 cents. It's look at what our 38 cents turned into. It turned into fucking black supremacy. Our hair grows up towards the stars. Oh, it grows towards your home planet, actually. Our hair grows towards our home planet, which is our Mother Earth. That's why we are children of our Mother Earth. That's why we call the Earth our mother. We are indigenous to the planet. Indigenous people, First Nations, are indigenous to the planet. We are the children of God. We do not grow beards. Children of God. Children do not grow beards. Original people are not hairy. Original people were made in God's likeness. Roman statues, built like Roman statues. Damn, yo, where are all these pretendians at, though? Look at that. What? Look at that. This was on a map of Tartaria, too. What? You see that? The fuck? Camels are also from America. What? The Goji was sent from Creator to protect you, I know. Let me finish watching this.
How does a serpent talk? And not only that, but why is the serpent's punishment to crawl on its belly when that's what it does?
Very, very clever here. In temples,
the serpent, so God punished the serpent by turning it into a snake, so he had to spend the rest of his days swallowing the dust. If it was a serpent, why would he have to turn it into a snake? It's because it was a lizard man. That's why, and he could talk. Just so you know.
Both sides are open, so you can choose to walk in either direction. But in the site, they only have one way. You have to walk in the opposite or counterclockwise direction because there is no other way. But how is that even possible? We should be able to walk both ways, right? How did ancient builders accomplish this and force us to walk only in one way? Let's take a look at the aerial view. You see that? No, not just the zigzag maze-like structure, but it's not symmetric.
Yeah, that's
There's
actually going to be my book too.
On the other half, it's a dead
It's actually not
end.
that one. All of
Usually,
them across the world.
Temples.
So what I'm starting to realize is like all the mountains and big giant rocks and all that are old petrified buildings. Giant trees. Yeah. They're all petrified buildings, yo. That's what they are. Look at the Grand Canyon. They look like temples. That's why they're named after temples. This one is a satanic Hindu temple that I'm researching right now. Researching satanic Hindu temples and satanic cannibal Eskimo tribes. So, yeah. That's what I've been researching the past few days.
or symmetric, so you can walk this side or that side. But this anti-temple was constructed as a half. The other half was not built. So no one can walk in that direction. This was deliberately planned to make sure people followed the negative path of circumambulation.
They made it so you can't go in. You gotta go in the
But the real shocker is in the carvings. Look at this carving. How do you feel? What about this one? Look at this nightmare. If you look at his face long enough, you might get a nightmare tonight. In Hindu temples, you will find beautiful, smiling, voluptuous carvings that trigger happiness. In this structure, carving after carving, even though this structure is festooned with more than 10,000 carvings, each and every one of them is made to look cruel, aggressive, and so serious. It changes your emotion. You are going to feel a change in emotion. You're going to become serious because it's designed that way. Plus, it's also designed to trigger your phobias. Look at the walkway. It's so narrow, even 3 people cannot walk together. It triggers claustrophobia, and it's amplified by its zigzag design with very sharp, narrow turns. Carvings like this also trigger ichnophobia, a fear of being stabbed. But many carvings trigger another phobia. Can you tell me what you feel when you see this? It's not just that his face looks serious. There's something beyond that.
Okay, where the fuck are these wobbos at, yo? Why are they all scared to debate me? Oh yeah, look at this. The Eye of Providence. This is the Jehovah's Witness Park or whatever. Look at it. That's a fucking pyramid. From the sky, you see a pyramid, the Eye of Providence. Or the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Ra, the Eye of Horus. They put in it in plain sight. Jehovah's Witness, too. Yo, I want to debate these pretendians, but you can't if they're going to be running and hiding the whole time. Do you think I should reset on here? Let me reset. Goya ho jinaya, goya ho jinaya, goya ho jinaya. Highway yogana, goya ho jinaya, goya ho jinaya, goya ho jinaya. Highway yogana, goya ho jinaya, yo yeah, hey, yo, yeah, hey. Yo age yo yo ne Hayo age hage hey yo yo ne abune ani yo we hey wage hage hey yo yo ne yabune ani yo we hey yo ya hey yo. Yo, what up, Trice? Yo! True American native. Yeah. Tartarian. No, I'm just kidding. Atlantean Hebrew mound builder in Egypt's in America. That's why they want to be so they can say that, huh? So you guys want to know the truth about all that? It was funny when the black community said you were Asian Americans. They do think we're Asian, huh? You know why? Because they think that hurts us. It's like, motherfucker, Asians dominate this planet. You know that, right? That's why it's because white people and black people come from Asians. Asians come from us. That's why the further you go back in white and black history, the more like us they start to look. Facts. It's a fact. Yo, $5 Indians. $5 pretendians. They're coming out and saying that's what they are. Look at his outfit. Yo, he went on national TV and they told him he can't say the word Indian because he's not Indian. Only Indians can say that. So they went from honoring us to trying to steal our identity now. Yeah, so these are $5 Indians. Look at that. I'm black and we are not indigenous to this land. Thank you. Thank you for coming forward and saying that. There you go. Had to screenshot that for you. But still, come on, y'all. Make it make sense. $5 Indians left and right. Everybody mad at the res like, I need that money. Everybody's mad at the res like, I need that money. Yeah, yo, I guarantee you, every time they go past the res, they're like, man, fuck these people. I wish I could just sit back and get a casino check every month. I wish that I could just get free shit every month. I wish that I had my own reservation in my own casino. That's what they're saying when they're going past the res. Man, I wish I had a fucking casino. Man, fuck these people, man. I wish I had casino money. That's exactly what they're saying when they drive past the res, yo. You know for a fact. That's what they're saying. But what's funny is not every single tribe has a casino. A lot of them do. Let's look up how many tribes have a casino. The fudge. Oh, okay. How many tribes in North America have casinos? 243 out of 575 casino of them have casinos, so half. Only half have a casino. Damn, that's a lot. Half of the Indians have a casino. 243 out of 575. Did you know there's 100 tribes in California? There's over 100 there. There's only like 8 here in New York. There's only 8 here in New York. Yo, and I figured it out. Why these motherfuckers hate me so much. You want to know why they hate me? Specifically me? Like, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been getting targeted a lot by black people, right? And I figured it out. It's because they think they're urban Indians. This was on Facebook. They literally wish they were me, yo. They literally wish they were what I was, yo, like a urban Indian. Like, that's how, when they look in the mirror, they see me looking back. That's what they see. You see what I mean? When they look in the mirror, they see me looking back and like, yeah, I'm an Indian. Yeah, I'm an Indian. Okay, buddy. Okay. Yeah, my grandma wouldn't lie to me. I think your grandma lied to you. Why? Why is it the Indian don't look like you, though? How come the Indian looks like us? Why do you gotta use AI? So corny. You're praying to the wrong culture, yo. You're tapping into the wrong culture. You're supposed to be tapping into your African roots, not Native American roots. The fuck? Unless you guys want to say Native Americans are the original humans and everybody comes from the Americas, then yeah, that's okay. I think that's what it is. I think they know we're more original than they are. I think they know we're more original than they are. They know that we have ties to the Tartarians, the Atlanteans, right? The lost tribes, the original humans, right? Lost cities, golden cities, fountains of youth, children of God. You got Indian degree. Listen, we're Nephilim because you got blood quantum the way Gilgamesh or Nimrod had blood quantum. Indian comes from Endios, E-N-D-I-O-S, Endios, of God. Your degree of Indian blood, degree of God blood, you're 2/3, 3/4 God like Gilgamesh, you're 2/3, 3/4 Indian. Indian is Endios, of God. You're 2/3, 3/4 of God, children of God. You do not grow beards. Natives don't grow beards. You should read Prison of Grass. It's a great book. Yeah, we've been enslaved on our own land. They're trying to fulfill prophecies, actually. So one of the prophecies is the chosen people are going to be enslaved on their own land, and we have been enslaved. Black people think they've been enslaved on their own land. This is not your land. We've been enslaved on our own land. The world's best prison is the prison that the prisoners don't know that they're in. The reservation is a concentration camp. Some of the reservations still have their prisoner of war camp number. Prisoners of war. POW camp 331 or whatever, right? And that's where Hitler got the blueprints to Auschwitz and the concentration camps, was the reservation blueprint, actually. So we're Nephilim, actually. We got Denisovan blood. Denisovan came before Homo sapiens. So did Neanderthal. So black people saying, yeah, we're the oldest, we're 100% Homo sapien, y'all got Neanderthal. Well, Neanderthal came before Homo sapien, so you're younger. You're only 300,000 years old. Native Americans got Nephilim blood in them, right? That's why you're 2/3. Nephilim was the giant, actually. Your biblical giant. That's why all the giant remains are found in the Americas, actually. Gilgamesh, Nimrod, 2/3 God. Indian is Endios, of God. You're 2/3 of God. 3/4 of God. Indian, Endios. They're trying to fulfill prophecies, speed up the end times by fulfilling prophecies. They enslaved us and tricked our ancestors in the residential schools, the boarding schools. Unalive the Indians, save the man. They forbid them from speaking their language because history and knowledge is hidden in the language. It's literally hidden in the language. Cooking them with this one. That's why everybody wants to be Native American, because the ties we have. If you're Native American and you have East Asian DNA, 1 to 2%. No Native American has more than 2% East Asian DNA. I'm a Native American that don't have any East Asian DNA, right? Not all natives have it, but that is Tartarian DNA. The new name of the East Asia is Siberia, or East Asia. It was always called the Grand Tartary or Tartaria on all the old maps, and all the old maps are even older maps of that. Aslantean or Aztlan is where the Aztecs come from. If you're speak Udo-Aztecian or Aztec or Mexican, you got ties to the Atlanteans. Egypt and Sumeria, Mesopotamia, those were Atlantean colonies, Aslantean colonies. That's why Middle Easterners look Mexican or Native American. Same with the Hindus in India, hence being Indian. We're related to them too. And the Hawaiians, Polynesians, Cambodians, Indonesians, Indo-Indian. Asians too. Asians are Native Americans. White people and black people are Asians too. They descend from Asians. Asians descend from us. That's why everybody used to look like us, and everybody will look like us in the end times too. So white people are Caucasians. Caucasians. The Caucasus Mountains are in Asia. All Africans have one common ancestor, the San people, which are an Asiatic group of people. That's why all black people are considered Afro-Asiatics. They didn't start out black. The further you go back in their history, the more Asiatic they look. So black people descend from Asians, same with white people, and Asians descend from us. So science got it wrong. Life did not begin in Africa. There's not enough life there now to support life originating there. Not enough vegetation or fresh water. Life didn't originate there. Life began in the Americas. The first mammals and primates originated in the Americas. That's why all the animals in Africa come from the Americas. Elephants derive from mastodons and woolly mammoths in the Americas. Rhinos come from unicorns in East Asia and the Americas. Horses and zebras also come from the Americas. Panthers, leopards, cheetahs, and lions also come from the Americas. Crocodiles, alligators all come from the Americas. All the plants, cotton, rubber, chocolate. We invented chocolate. Tobacco, corn, rice, beans, squash all come from the Americas. The world's oldest fresh water is Ontario. The world's oldest forest is in New York. The world's oldest trees are in California. And all the world's oldest bones are in the Americas. That's There's laws and acts put in place that prevent people from making these discoveries, actually. Stop lying, man. I don't have to lie about anything. Everything that I talk about is backed up by science and facts. Our teachings is the foundation and roots to modern day science. So it was our people that taught the world about black holes, wormholes. It wasn't Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German that was obsessed with Native Americans, and he lived in New Jersey. He might as well been near Haudenosaunee lands. He might have heard our creation story, because in every single story of our creation story, we talk about black holes, wormholes, in every single version. Also, every single culture says that the red man, the first humans, were made from clay. Red clay is called Indian clay, right? Adam and Eve were made from the dust of the ground. Red man, Adam, right? Even the 3 layers of the firmament. All of our teachings. Then why isn't there any Native Americans inventing things today? Because we know we don't need to invent anything. We are God's invention. We don't need to invent a bunch of things, because we know the original purpose and everything behind everything in nature. From, like, you needed to invent a cup. A native would grab a leaf, big enough leaf, turn it into a funnel and scoop it out the water and drink it and throw the leaf. You needed to invent a bunch of things. We didn't need to do that. We know the purpose behind every root, every plant, everything in nature, every organ, everything. We used everything. Nothing went to waste. So we didn't need to invent a bunch of things. Plus, all the modern medicine comes from us anyway. Cotton, rubber comes from us. Those 2 number 1 things, that the knowledge to harvest that comes from our people. Cotton and rubber. So no gardens, got it? What are you guys talking about? Are you kidding me? 3 sisters, corns, bean, squash, were related to the gardens. You are lying. You notice how it's just black people that are just mad at natives for teaching? Like, look at, she's got a crown on her head, even though their people probably wore dung hut crowns, like made out of dung, like cow feces, washing their head in cow poop. Like, we know why you're mad. We know why you guys are so hateful. You see what I mean? We know why you guys are mad at the world. Like, it's obvious. I bet you don't have any contributions to society. That's a slave mentality. Literally, that is a slave mentality. While your ancestors were picking cotton, my people were teaching the founding fathers how to be free. And then after that, we built all the cities in the north. New York City, Baltimore, Boston, Buffalo, Albany, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Cleveland. We built all the cities in the north. And after we got done building all the cities, Empire State Building, World Trade Center, and the new ones, United Nations Building, Chrysler Building, Empire State Building, Golden Gate Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge. After we got done building all of that, we went back to our tribes and built 5-star, 5-diamond resort casinos after we got done doing that. But why are you so hateful? How did what I say equate to being hateful? The reason why you think I'm hateful is because I don't take shit from nobody. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what color you are. If you're black, you're African. If you're white, you're European. I'm American. No, Mexicans are more Americans than white and black people too. So are Puerto Ricans. Hispanics and Latinos are Native Americans. You're Asian and white mix. I'm Seneca. I'm Seneca and Indigenous. American Indian. Your dad is German. My dad is full-blooded Onondaga, Wolf Clan. He's not here with us anymore. Isn't it funny? Like, you're a girl hating on another guy. You're a girl hating on a guy. The reason girls hate on guys is because they can't get any guys. Like, I understand a guy hating on a guy, but a girl hating on a guy, yeah. You told us that back in the day. I never said that. I never said that my dad was German. Do you know what a German is? A German is a blonde hair and blue-eyed person. My dad is full-blooded Ungwehunwe, half Onondaga, half Mohawk. But yeah, see what I mean? They're trying to like beg people to think that my dad is some German. Yeah, I know. Right? Isn't that so funny? Like, they literally started a rumor that my tribe doesn't claim me or they didn't know who I was. They even faked a phone call pretending to be my tribe. And then you know what my tribe went and did? My tribe went and gave me a whole blanket ceremony with like 10 other Senecas. Isn't that funny, yo? It was like the biggest fuck you to all my haters online. That's an Asian. Yeah, dude, you're delusional. You're delusional, yo. That's an Asian. Nice try. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's like just the most hateful group of people on the planet. They're literally jealous of us. They're jealous of our skin color, our hair texture, our history, our place in America. They want to be us so bad, yo. It's not even funny. So all they can do is just punch the air. They would never say any of this shit to our face. That's why it's only said online. They don't have nobody supporting them in the real world. They have to pay for likes. They have to pay for follows. Like, that's why it's a never-ending conversation. They'll never take the tribe to court. They'll never prove themselves. They think stuff that they typed up on Ancestry.com are real documents. It's like, yeah, you guys are pretending. They think DNA is fake, but the stuff they typed up on Ancestry, on their genealogy trees, are real documents and proof that they're Indian. It's like, dude, anybody could type that up. It's like, take a fucking DNA test, sue the fucking tribe. If you're actually fucking Indian, you shouldn't look African. It's like, how about everybody just identifies with what their highest percentage is? How about that? Everybody's got admixture. Everybody identifies with what their highest percentage is. That seems fair. I'd say that's fair. Everybody identify with what their highest percentage is. And everybody got to move to where the area it says. Mr. Dunbars. You are what your mother is, Mr. Dunbar. Earth speaks. You are what your mom is. A black man with white, or a white man with black ancestry. You just came in here, Earth the Atlantean. Bro, you guys don't have ties to Atlantis. You're not Aztec, bro. You're not Aztec. How can you be African and native? My mom's family actually walked the Trail of Tears. Yours didn't. Listen, my tribe was a badass tribe that stood its ground and said, no, we're not leaving. So we stood right here. And actually, there is Senecas that did walk the Trail of Tears. So you don't know what you're talking about. There's Seneca Cayuga Band down in Oklahoma. Earth Atlantean, dude, you got exposed. You get exposed every day. Everybody just shows pictures of your mom every day, bro. I feel sorry for you. Because nothing you say has any weight to it. Because you're trying to speak on our history, but you're not native or black. You're white. You're a white guy with a black ancestry, dude. You are what your mother is. Remember that. You're not indigenous. Do your lead Caucasian. Bro, you're the Caucasian, bro. I'm darker than you. And you're the one that's supposed to be black. Come on. You are what your mother is. You're see-through? Bro, you are the most palest person ever. You're white, dude. You are what your mother is. Hey, how about you come up here and let's see who's darker? Not you. I didn't mean to send you a invite, but Earth speaks. Come up. Let's see who's darker. Let's see who's darker, but you can't grow facial hair. Yo, why am I darker than you? Why am I darker than you? Why am I darker than you? Put your camera on. He's not going to put his camera on because he knows I'm darker than him. Bro, put your camera on. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Come on. Don't be scared. Yeah, bro. Why am I darker than you? You're the one supposed to be black, bro. You're the one that's supposed to be black. What? You're the one that's supposed to be black, bro. You're the one that's supposed to be black. You're the one that's supposed to be black, bro. Look at that. You're the same color as me, bro. You're the same color as my palm, bro. You're the same color as my palm. Yo, bro, why do you look like a frog, bro? Why do you look like a frog? Why do you look like a frog, bro? Like a hairy frog. Like, why do you... Natives don't have beards, bro. They don't have beards. That's Esau. That's the wild man gene. That's the wild man gene, bro. That's the wild man gene. That's the wild man gene, yo. Look, this is your gene, bro. That's why you're hairy. That's why you're hairy. That's why you're hairy. That's why you're hairy. That's why you're hairy, bro. Show me one native with a... Show me one Indian. Show me one Indian in his... Show me one Indian in history that looked like you. Show me one Indian in history that looked like you. Show me one. There isn't.
So how you saying that indigenous people don't have beards when that's an Aboriginal American right there? Answer the question. Answer the question.
Oh my god, bro. And I bet you think Anunnaki are black too. Yo, what color are the Anunnaki? What color are the Anunnaki? What color are the Anunnaki? They're not black, bro. The Anunnaki are a pale-skinned group of people with blue eyes, bro. You know what the Anunnaki look like? This is what the Anunnaki look like, bro. This is what the Anunnaki look like. They're pale-skinned people, bro, with beards, bro. Bro, you're white, dude. You're white. You're white, bro. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Keep wishing. Run away. He ran. You see what I mean? He said your children don't have a future here. Yo, that's what I mean. You see what I mean? They have no real supporters in the real world. They're trying... This is black supremacy, and nobody's hearing what I'm saying. Nobody's hearing what I'm saying. It's because white America is cucks. You guys are cucks. You guys got white guilt for something you didn't even fucking do. Not even 1% of white America owned slaves. There was more black slave owners than there was white slave owners. The black slaves were begging the white people to buy them because it was better to be owned by a white person than it was their own kind or an Arab. They were already in slavery. You guys didn't go over there and catch them. And you guys got this white kilt for no fucking reason. And you're letting them run around all over you. Fuck your girl, steal your girl, all types of shit. And you guys like it. You guys enjoy it. You guys let them run free. And now they're letting them they're blackwashing everybody's history. And it's all your guys' fault. All the white people's fault. Literally, it's all the white people's fault. You guys are cucks, yo. You guys are cucks. You guys like this black supremacy? Fuck this black supremacy shit, yo. It's white supremacy all over. They did a destiny swap with the white people. The black people are now as racist as the white people in the 50s. Now they're trying to destiny swap with the natives. They want our identity. It's because everybody's learning that not everybody comes from Africans. That's the biggest lie ever. Everybody comes from Americans. White people and black people come from Asians, and Asians come from us. Life began in the Americas, and people walked out of the Americas. Life didn't begin in Africa. There's not enough life, water, vegetation, to support life there now, let alone originated there. All life, all creation began in the Americas. That's why the world's oldest water, the world's oldest forest, the world's oldest trees, and world's oldest everything is found here. America sits on the first tectonic plate out of the water too. All the animals in Africa come from the Americas. All the primates and mammals originated in the Americas. Black people are Afro-Asiatics. They all have a common ancestor named the Khoisan people. They're an Asian tribe in Africa. Those are considered the oldest people. Caucasians are Caucasians. The Caucasus Mountains are in Asia. Both groups, white and black, come from Asians, and Asians come from Native Americans. The oldest people are us in the world. That's why we're called First Nations, Indigenous, Naturals, Natives. We're the children of God. We don't grow beards. We're made in God's image, right? We're made from clay. That's our story. Adam, red man, Adama, right? Not black man, not white man. Black man turned like that in the third age. He got burned. He got burned by the third age sun while people were in the middle of the earth. And then the government just came out and said the insectoids are real, backing up the Native Americans with the Anunnaki, the ant friends. Anunnaki, these are Anunnaki, actually. You know why Anunnaki were here? Is because they were a pale-skinned race like the tall whites, actually. Right? And they're tall and they're white. And they also have blue eyes. But they were here to grab gold. They created a slave race, right? The people with the worship gene and an attraction to gold, right? So what they were doing is they're putting gold in the atmosphere to protect them from the sun because they don't really have an ozone layer because they're a pale-skinned group of people. Government just came out and said that the tall whites are real. This is what the Anunnaki is. Anunnaki are not black. Anunnaki are not black. That's the biggest lie ever. It's all black supremacy. That's what it is. It's white supremacy. And nobody wants to say anything. No white people want to say anything because they got white guilt. They lied. Y'all didn't own slaves. Y'all couldn't afford to own a slave. Not even 1% of America owned slaves. And most of the white people came here after slavery in the 1800s, early 1900s. Your people came here later from Hungary and Germany and fucking shit like that, yo. Through Ellis Island. Yeah, nobody's listening to what I'm saying. We're in a trans age, too. So pretendianism was started by a child molester named Dr. Malachi York. 60s, 70s, they preached that black people are the aboriginals to every continent, and they were the kings and queens and gods, and everybody needs to be their slave and bow down and kiss their ass. That's what they taught. They wore war bonnets and dressed up like Egyptians, and they said that their black supremacy, that the black gods are here and all that, right? That's where pretendian comes from. Dr. Malachi York got charged with 135 years for cruel child molestation. He had the biggest child molestation case for one single individual in the history of all histories. Sick fuck. That's where Rare Empress Bird, Dane Calloway, a lot of these pretendians get their reading material from, is one of the main pretendians that started it themselves in the 60s and 70s. Dr. Malachi York. Same with Rashad Jamal. He's a convicted child molester too. Nature Boy, convicted child molester. So all these pretendian talking points, pretendianism comes from child molesters. And then the people that push this content are trans people, however, Mr. Any pronouns, him and his husband, that Asian girl, don't Google me, her and her wife, right? They're pretendians. They date black pretendians. And if you're a pretendian, you're trans. You're part of the LGBTQ trans community. You have an identity crisis. You're transracial, trans indigenous, trans Indian. You're a Rachel Dolezal. That's what you are. If you're black and you think you're native or indigenous or aboriginal, you're a Rachel Dolezal. You're a trans. You're part of the tranny community. You're transracial. And then they're trying to if this is all by design, the government's trying to do this. They're trying to force trans identities on everybody. If they can't get you with the transsexual stuff, they'll force an identity crisis on you, transracial, become a Hebrew, a Moorish, or Israelite, or Egyptian, or fake pretendian or whatever, right? So that's what they're doing. And then they're trying to push trans identities on Native Americans too. Tell Native Americans you're German, you're Siberian, you're Asian, right? You want me to identify as something I'm not. No, I don't have a I don't need a trans identity like you. These are the most programmable people. They're sheeple. They got hair like wool, like sheep. Literally. Breeding farms, cabbage patch fields, incubator babies. Yeah, so if you're black and you're telling Native Americans they're Asian, you're trying to force your trans ideologies on me because if you're black, you're African, and you probably think you're Indian. That's a trans identity. You're part of the LGBTQ trans movement. You're trying to identify as something you're not. You got the same thing wrong with you that a boy that wants to be a girl. You're an African that wants to be an Indian. Let me reset. I have hair like all life, all creation. You're the one with the mutation. Yo, you guys see that with Earth Speaks? Yo, he didn't know what to do, yo. He ran. Yo, and all he said is, your kid is going to have no future here. They're going to get ran out of here. It's like, no, y'all are going to get ran out of here, bro. Everybody's going to be sick of your guys' shit, and everybody's going to get you guys out of here on the first boat. Where are they going to chase us to? The res? On our own land? You're the one that's not from here. Yo, that's wild, huh? Yeah, he just came in here. He came in here and then he ran. He dropped. Because we're explaining his history. Come here, Earth Speaks. Let me teach you your history. Here's a little bit of your history, Mr. $5 Indian. Black people come from Asians. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Breeding farms. Sheeple. You guys are sheep. Soulless sheeple. Soulless sheeple. Oh, yeah. There's your history. Yep, that's your history. That's your history. He been trying to research my folks. Y'all come from Asians. So do white people. Caucasians. Caucasians. The Caucasus Mountains are in Asia. Black people are Afro-Asiatics. This is your common ancestor known as the Khoisan, an Asian tribe, the oldest people. They have the paternal AB haplogroup. Native Americans have the maternal AB haplogroup. We're the oldest. You guys come from Asians. White people come from Asians. Asians come from us. Life began in the Americas, y'all. Everybody comes from Native Americans, basically. That's why everybody got a Native grandma. Not everybody has an African grandma. Shouldn't we all have an African grandma? But no, everybody got a Native grandma. Come on. Everybody comes from Native Americans. That's why when you go in your history, that's why Europeans look like Native Americans. Yeah, right? When you look at ancient Europeans, they look like fucking Native Americans, yo. They don't look black. They look like Native Americans, yo. That's why everybody used to look Native American. That looks like a Native American to me, yo. I'm sorry. Everybody used to look Native Americans. Literally, everybody. $5. Yeah, that's you guys. You guys are paying $5 up to $2,500 to join fake ass tribes, yo. Paying money to join fake ass tribes. That's your family. I'm not from the 5 civilized tribes. I'm from the Seneca. I'm from the original fucking Haudenosaunee Confederacy tribes. That's what I'm from. With the United States, Russia, China, all superpowers of the world base their government off of my people's government. My people taught the founding fathers how to be free. They drafted their constitution after ours. We have a 117 article constitution. And we taught them about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, women's rights, how to be free. We have the world's oldest constitutional democratic republic. That's why everybody wants to be native. People are paying money to join fake ass tribes. And you guys are getting scammed, yo. You guys are getting scammed to join fake tribes. You guys are joining an online black supremacist cult, some Discord, and it's never going to get federally recognized and it's never going to get state recognized. So the way they get people to pay money and join is they tell them, oh yeah, we're already meeting up with the state representative and they're going to sign this paper and we're going to get recognized. And then we can start a casino. So you better join a tribe now before we get things rolling, and then the price to join is going to go up. So that's how they get people to join their fake ass little tribes from online. They do little online status corrections. Let me teach you how to do your status correction. Yeah, they're teaching you how to be a modern day $5 Indian, yo. You're a $2,500 Indian. You're joining a fake ass tribe that's never gonna get state or federally recognized. I don't care what they told you. It's not gonna happen. In order to be a tribe, you have to be a tribe for over 250 years or 300 years in order to be official tribe. You got it. You see what I mean? You guys will never get fucking recognition, no matter how much you pay. Can you show us these $5 Indian tribes? Yeah, it's the 5 civilized tribes. Look at this. Which tribe had $5 Indians? Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Muskogee Creek, and Seminole Nation. What did I tell you? I didn't need to look that up to tell you, but some people need the internet to show them like, oh, okay. But those are the tribes they claim to be from. Those are the only tribes that had $5 Indians. The same tribes they claim to be from. They don't look Indian neither, is what I'm saying. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put 2 and 2 together. You got pretendians claiming that they're Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Muskogee Creek, right? Which tribe had $5 Indians? And these are the tribes. Come on, yo. Look, and they're begging me to stop. He's begging me to stop. These are the tribes that had $5 Indians. This is why they claim those tribes. They got white ancestry, not native ancestry. He's begging me to stop in the comments. Nah, y'all getting exposed, yo. I'm exposing you hard body right now. Yo, hit the cash here. Oh, yo, y'all are $5 Indians. Y'all are $5 Indians. Yo, what? Hold on. I got something for you guys. You guys are gonna cry when you hear this. $5 Indians are pretendians. People pretending to be Indians. Specifically, non-natives that paid to be part of the 5 civilized tribes: Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Muskogee Creek, and Seminole. From 1898 to 1903, mulattoes, white people, and free blacks would pay $5 to join the Dawes rolls. A full-blooded white person or a full-blooded black person wouldn't be able to pretend to be Indian and get away with it as much as a mulatto could. Even today, in modern times, many mulattoes pretend to be Indian and get away with it. They have the same skin tone as the Native American. They are also copper-colored. A mulatto is someone of European and African descent. The European ancestry lightened them up and made them our complexion. Their hair would be straightened or shaved off to hide their African kinky curly hair. Indigenous Americans are known to have straight hair to wavy hair, never curly. Many of these $5 Indians infiltrated the tribe by mixing in. Lots of black Americans claim to be from these tribes. They are descendants of the $5 pretendians. Black Americans are also mulatto. About 99% of them have European admixture. The ancestor that claims to be from the 5 civilized tribes is either a freedman, which is a slave owned by the 5 civilized tribes, then set free and adopted, or they are a pretendian that paid $5 to join the tribe. In modern times, African Americans are pretendians and still paying money to join tribes. They're getting scammed and usually joining some sort of online pretendian black supremacist cult. In modern times, we live in a trans age. They are trying to force trans identities on everybody. If you won't turn transsexual, they'll try to make you turn transracial. These kinds of people also tell Native Americans they are Asian or white. They themselves are African mixed with European, mulatto, and identify as Indigenous American, pretending. That's a transracial identity known as trans-Indigenous, trans-Indian, or transracial. $5 Indians go back to the 1800s. In 2026, we still have modern-day $5 Indians. Today, they pay up to $2,500 to join a fake tribe and sometimes charge $500 per kid. These race shifters have attached themselves to a tribe they have nothing to do with. Every day, more and more pretendians infiltrate tribal spaces with fake documents they paid for. Oh, you gotta get by? Go ahead. Yeah. $5 Indians, they're paying money. You guys are getting scammed. All these little status corrections and all that. You are getting scammed to join a fake tribe that will never get recognized. I don't care if they promised you they're going to get recognized or anything like that. They're not going to get recognized. You just wasted money. $2,500 to join a fake tribe. I can print you out one of those. You order these sheets from Amazon and a sticker. You order the stickers and they just sign it with a nice pen. I could print you out one of those. It's not even a real book. You have people's pictures in a binder. Yeah, I got a lot of pictures in here. Be mad. The 4 tribes of man. Learn your tribe. Learn your tribe. They don't know what tribe they are. They mixed. These two mixed. Now they think they're this one because they straighten their hair. Nah, we know you're fake. You're faking to be this one. You're really a mix of these two. So stop. You can trick everybody else. You can't trick me. You can trick everybody else. You can't trick me. I know what you are. I know what you are. You can lie to everybody else. You can't lie to the ancestors. You can't lie to God. I know what you are. I mean, it's easy to find your tribe. They'll put you all on punishment. You guys are literally begging people to write the president of my tribe. It's funny because he's with somebody that I'm not even gonna say it. He's the stepdad to my cousin, and it's funny because you guys are trying to like turn my tribe against me after you guys started a rumor that my tribe doesn't know me. My tribe went and gave me a blanket ceremony, right? Made y'all look dumb, all my haters, right? And now they're begging people to call my tribe and like try to get me disenrolled or something, which will never fucking happen. That boy from across that water, I'm trying to tell us we're not indigenous. I don't know who you're talking to. Oh, there you go. I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah, dude, you guys are indigenous. You guys are from Africa, yo. White people are from Europe. Black people are from Africa. I'm sorry that bothers you, but you're not even a real black person, bro. You're not even a real black person. Because I shouldn't be the same color as you if you're black. Either I'm really dark or you're very light. Same with Dane Calloway. Either he's very light or I'm very dark. And we all know I'm not very dark. They're black and white. They're mulattoes pretending to be Indian. If you can't tell that's what's going on, I feel sorry for you. I feel like you're not that smart. If you can't tell that these people are lying and they're trying to trick you guys, you're not that smart. You would get got in the real world. I already know how they are. They're already lying to everybody about everything. So, they're not telling the truth about being the Indians. These people are African mixed with white, and now they think they can trick everybody. They cannot trick everybody, yo. They can't trick me, and I'll wake you guys up. You guys are under a spell. You're taught to vouch for them. Everybody is. Kind of feel sorry for them. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they're not all like that, right? But no. They are all like that and 10 times worse. Thank you for the follow. We are not mixed with the European. 99% of you guys are. Yes, you are. 99% of you are. So you're a full-blooded African? The fact that you got facial hair tells me you're mixed with Esau. You guys are hairy. You guys are too hairy to be full-blooded African. Full-blooded Africans don't grow beards. Yeah, you guys are too hairy to be full-blooded African. 95% of all African Americans have white DNA. I looked it up. It said 99%. 95 to 99%. That's what it came up for me. Yeah, they're too hairy to be full-blood. Look at the full-bloods in Africa. Those are real black people. Those are the real black people. The ones over here are not real black people. They're whitewashed, watered-down black people. They're pink and hairy over here. Over there, they're real black. They're blue. Over here, they want to be red and copper colored. Copper is pink. Salmon pink. Over there, they're blue. What do I do with this info? You spread it. You use it. You teach it. The ones over here are the fake blacks. Do the $5 Indians steal from the tribes when they join? Yeah. That's why people pretend to be Indian. Hey! That's why people pretend to be Indian. so they can apply for grants. They want to get casinos. That's why these people, they want to get casino checks. They want to get land. They apply for things that are meant for natives. Feed the cat. It's not the cat, yo. You gonna be a lot of memes soon. I already am, bro. Make me famous. I welcome it, bro. Brings more people to my page. Brings more people to my page. And you know what? The people that, like, you guys have no real supporters in the real world. You know that, right? That sell you want what? Bro, literally, make me famous. Make me famous because you are bringing more traffic to my page. You're my slave, actually. I don't pay you to promote my face. I'm not paying you to spread my face around. You're doing it on your own time, right? So basically, you're working for me for free. Whether all press is good press, whether good or bad. People, you're putting my face out there to the public is like, okay, who is that? What is that? Why is he relevant? Right? You're making me relevant. But go ahead, please make tons of memes. Tag me in every single one of them too. Please. Make me famous for the wrong reasons, bro. You people don't judge a book by its cover. People will wonder why there's all these pictures of me, and they'll stop and listen to what I have to say. So you're just bringing more traffic to my page, bro. If you really didn't like me and you didn't want people to hear me, what you would do is not post me at all. You wouldn't put me into the algorithm. You know what I mean? You're basically just boosting my algorithm by posting me. And now I'm teaching you too much game. You're going to be your people downfall fast, so thanks. Bro, I've done nothing but lift my people up, actually. I've changed a lot of people in a positive way, too, actually. I've exposed you guys. I've actually made quite a name for myself. Thanks to you guys. Actually promoting my content, trying to clown on me, but really you have no real support. You guys don't have no real evidence. If you had real evidence, we would be all on our way to Siberia and you would be taking our spot. But that's will never happen. That's a delusion. If you had the proof, you would be suing the tribe. You would take a DNA test and prove it. You wouldn't deny anything that debunks you. That's why we're saying take a DNA test. Because if you have a DNA test, you can prove that you're native. It comes up indigenous American. You should have some of our DNA because we're all related. I'm indigenous to the planet, not just North and South America. Indigenous to the planet. Because even the white man is the one that's saying I'm indigenous to the planet, not me. The white man is the one saying that. You know why? The white man is the one saying life began in Africa, even though that's wrong. It began here. White and black people come from Asians and Asians come from us, right? But it's the white man saying we're indigenous to the planet. You know why? Because they're saying life began in Africa. If life began in Africa, that means we walked here all the way from Africa and lived in every single climate and environment in between Africa and South America. So they are the ones that are saying we are indigenous to the whole planet. That we are the ones that can live in every single climate. You guys only live where it's hot. You don't know how to make an igloo survive in the cold. But you say the white man lie. He does. He does. He does lie. See, it went right over his head. You see what I mean? We're dealing with another species. Your skulls are different too, actually. We're dealing with another species, y'all. They can't comprehend what we're saying. They only understand tone and vibration. Tone and vibration energy. They can't really comprehend the language the way we can. That's why they'll answer with something totally irrelevant. They'll answer a question with a question. They really don't make sense half the time. It's because they don't understand or comprehend what we're saying. They only understand tone and vibration. he lied to y'all being native. Bro, you wish he lied to us being native. They tried to make us not native because we were so native. Unalive the Indian, saved the man. That's how native we were. They tried to make us white. And I know that bothers you. Isn't that a weird thing to get mad about? You're mad at me because of my race, bro. I can't control that I'm Indian. I can't control that I'm a wild Indian. I can't control that I'm a wild city Indian. That's why you guys hate me. I'm a concrete native. I'm a sidewalk Indian, yo. That's why y'all hate me. Urban indigenous. Yeah, you guys are too hairy to be natives. You get way too hairy. I can't control that I'm a Seneca warrior. I can't control that I just scalp you guys every day. I can't control that. It just happens naturally. You just scalp yourself when you come in here. As soon as you see me, you just start scalping yourself because you already know. Because you already know. Christopher Cologne. Yeah, the Collins family. District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Yeah, you might have, your grandma might have been Cherokee or Choctaw or even Chickasaw or even Seminole, but only by way of paperwork. You got adopted into the family. If I got adopted by a white family or a black family, does that make me white or black? No, I'm still indigenous. If you got adopted by an Indian or a white family, are you Indian or white? No, you're still fucking black. You're still African. Goddamn. But you guys want to know what tribes had $5 Indians? Which tribes had $5 Indians? Oh, those are the tribes that had $5 Indians. Which tribes had $5 Indians? The tribes they claim to be from. God damn, yo. That is crazy. God damn, the tribes you claim to be from are the tribes that had $5 Indians. That cat is loud. Yeah, I know. It means their ancestors paid $5 to join the tribe. That's how they infiltrated the tribe. They paid money. And they mixed their way in. Okay, so they call this the New World, right? The New World. They call this place the New World, right? Have you guys heard of the New World Order? The New World Order. So if they call this the New World, and if you guys have heard of the New World Order, there is a plan to control and dominate the world, and it's going to start with here. The destruction of mankind begins with North America. And there's secret societies and people that have ties to these that are basically working for the elites. So if you are in one of these secret societies, you're basically a slave or a soldier for the elites. The elites own these secret societies. They wrote the books to these secret societies. Basically, you're a soldier to the elites, right? Now, this is Rare Empress Bird. She is one of the convicted child molester, Dr. Malachi York. He started the Yamasee Nubian Nation Empire of Moors tribe. It's a black supremacist cult in the 60s and 70s and 80s. These people that would join his cult would give their children to him so he could do things to them ritualistically or whatever he would say. But this Rare Empress Bird was one of his groupies. She was one of his groupies, and it's all connected to the Freemasons and the Shriners. So this is the convicted pedophile, Dr. Malachi York. He's the one that wrote the book on Pretendianism. He was a Shriner. It's one of the highest orders of Freemasonry. And just so you guys know, the Illuminati was started by Freemasons. Just so you guys know. So the Shriners is the crescent moon. It's where they wear the red fez. This is where the Moors come from, actually. Masonic. Like that's Farrakhan or whatever, all these black supremacist leaders, they are all got ties to the Masons, right? And these are secret societies that they say rule the world or whatever, right? Just live yourself, bro. What? But anyway, see the Mason, the GAY symbol is a GAY. So these secret societies it's all about symbolism and secret messages in the symbolism. That's the pentagram. That's the satanic symbol of the goat, right? That's what's on the Rick Owens shoes that people are taking off with the stitches, right? So the GAY, the Masons, the satanic, this is a trans identity. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to force trans identities on America, on everybody here in America. They're trying to fulfill prophecies, the elites, and these secret societies are soldiers for these elites and all that, right? And some of these people are sheeple. They're sheep, literal sheep, like bots, NPCs. They don't got inner dialogue. These are descendants of people grown on the breeding farms from the Cabbage Patch Babies, World Fairs, incubator babies, the whole thing. But yeah, you see what's in her hand, the satanic pentagram and the GAY symbol for the Masons, actually. That's the whatever. Read this stuff in books. Yeah. Yeah. They only listen to people that it's the blind leading the blind. The blind leading the blind. Yeah, so they don't realize how much damage they're doing to their own community. They think that they got some like divine woke knowledge and they're all like awesome conspiracy theorists and they know the truth about everything. No, you are brainwashed. They're brainwashed, actually. Completely brainwashed. Sheep. NPCs. They're the bots, actually. They don't have any woke divine knowledge. Yeah, they're not woke at all. They are brainwashed. You know damn well Cabbage Patch Kids did not come from us. It did come from you guys. Incubator babies from the World's Fairs. That's y'all. And incubator babies. So the reason why they try to say that white people come from that is they do it as like kind of a revenge. That's why you hear they try to say white people are bots, white people are sheeple. Listen, the four-legged creator made the four-legged to have wool. Woolly mammoth, woolly rhinoceros, alpaca, llama, buffalo, sheep, lamb, right? Only them have wool, the four-legged. Sheeple, literal sheeple, sheep. You guys are broken records. You guys repeat what you hear from other lives. People are coming to me and telling me that you guys are saying what I'm saying now. You guys are repeating what I'm saying. That you guys learn from me and all that. Yeah, they're sheep. They think they're woke and got some divine knowledge. No, you guys are the brainwashed people. You guys are the NPCs, the bots. They're literally the bots, yo. They're literally the bots. They're the sheep of the world. They got a worship gene in them, y'all. They were bred to have this worship gene inside of them, actually. There it is. I found it. Found my fucking grinder. Was wondering where it was. So Cabbage Patch Doll, they look like you. Nah, they look like you, bro. Anyway, y'all mixed with this guy. Y'all mixed with this guy. That's why you guys grow those big ass beards. You guys grow big ass fucking beards, yo. You mixed with this guy. That's why you guys didn't get sick the way we got sick. So we got sick from their diseases. It's called pathogen spillover. So pathogen spillover is when a younger invasive species infects the older native species because the younger invasive species immune system mutated and evolved and developed new diseases that wiped out the older indigenous species. This happened to the dinosaurs and it happened to us too. It's called pathogen spillover. It's because our immune system didn't mutate the way theirs did. Ours was ancient, a pure immune system, and we didn't have the enzymes in our immune system because it's an older immune system. Theirs mutated and evolved and developed and changed and all that, and it had enzymes or diseases that our immune system didn't have. Dinosaur. Yeah, you guys mixed in with this one. But you guys gotta look into... You guys gotta look into the three-toed tribe, too. The three-toed tribe. Learn your history. Learn about the monkey people. So, if you got ghost DNA, if you're African, this is right up your alley. So, you guys don't have Neanderthal. You guys don't have Denisovan DNA. Neanderthal, Denisovan, and Homo sapien are the only humans. Denisovan, which is biblical Nephilim, the first to walk the earth, then Neanderthal, then Homo sapien, right? Anything before that, Naledi, Africanus, Erectus, all monkey people. Right here. We have that story of where they come from. The Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the Maya, contains with its creation story a tale of the destruction of the beings by a flood. This flood differs from others and it is not meant as a punishment, but rather a remedy for an earlier faulty creation of mankind. In central Mexico, a legend tells of men in some parts of the world who had survived the deluge, the flood, turning into monkeys, then slowly recovered speech and reason. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Fight back with forbidden knowledge. Natives are Aryans. You know what? We do share some of the symbols, though. No, we're not Aryans. Aryans are Pleiadians, actually. You got some people that are serpent-blooded people, too. That's not a book, bro. How is this not a book? How is this not a book? It's got tons of information in it. Are you mad? Are you mad we got real knowledge? This is the stuff you won't be able to find in a book. It wasn't until 1996, in the year that I was born, modern science discovered that dinosaurs had feathers. Indigenous Americans already knew this in ancient times. We know many things about these giant reptiles. We didn't call them dinosaurs, though. We had our own language. It was more compared to like a dragon. The Mesoamericans have Quetzalcoatl and Kukulkan, down, known as a feathered serpent. Yo, why did people say the Kukulkan? That's what the KKK is. The Mesoamericans have Quetzalcoatl and Kukulkan. Yep, feather serpent. This is a discovery that colonizers took the credit for when they were deeply interested in Mayan and Aztec culture. So they had to have learned that these ancient serpents had feathers from the red man. Even down in South America, the Amaru is a llama-headed feathered dragon. The dinosaurs are the ancestors of today's animals and maybe even some lineages of man. My clan, the Blue Heron, is a direct descendant of a theropod dinosaur. So in 1996, that's when modern science discovered that dinosaurs had feathers. Our people already knew that in ancient times. Also, our people had Neuralink. All these skulls are missing the chips, though. That one was the only one with the chip inside of it. Yeah, the book is called Fight Back with Forbidden Knowledge. Talks about Bigfoot. Talks about Moses being in America. You were doing sacrifices to the sun. Not me. Not me. I was giving thanks to the sun. Said Wasi and the Kaga Kwa di Songa Hete Dani when he said Daniel you want it how you in Dako the do candy you wanna go was Nehon and God ubi you Nehos what a no star Yahweh on the day ne wa ne go dan the doctor it is so it's like Kaga Kwa hot day on the di was strong. Cuckoo Khan does sound like Ku Klux. Yeah, that's what they were saying, that the KKK comes from the Black Moors of Europe, and that they were the Serpent Kings of Kukulkan. It was like, dude, you guys just make shit up. You guys are just mixing history now, purposely. It was like, I can't even follow that. I can't even subscribe to that. That don't even make any sense. It don't make no sense. The Goji, what the fuck you doing in my spot? Oh, we Let me I'll be right back. All right, I'll put something on for you guys though. I got something for you guys. There you go. How y'all doing? Tattoo gun should be here soon. Denisovan is giant. Neanderthal isn't. They don't have this DNA like us. They're not built like us, y'all.
White people.
Embrace your roots. You got giant DNA. Do I believe the earth is flat? It's not flat, it's hollow. It's hollow. That's what it is. Let me shut this. Damn, it's real humid out. It's real humid out where I'm at. Is that AC on? Yeah, I shut it. It's hollow, yo. I got something for you guys. I'll put you guys on a game.
The theory of Fingolia is elite ball knowledge. Fingolia is a combination of the countries Mongolia and Finland. They say some Finnish people resemble East Asians. People always thought they resembled Asians, but couldn't prove it until DNA test came out. Not all Finnish people have this phenotype. Finnish people carry roughly 5% to 10% ancient Siberian admixture. They say it was introduced to that region 3,500 years ago by migrations from Northern Asia. Automatically, people assume that Siberians from East Asia during the Mongol/Tartarian Empire reached all the way to Finland and mixed in that way. That is false. It is Native American DNA. They don't give our people the credit for traveling the world. It was Native Americans that discovered Europe, not Europeans discovering Turtle Island. Finland is in Western Europe. Finland would be easier to reach by water than it would be going all the way from East Asia. Finland and Siberia are on opposite sides of the Eurasian continent.
Also, what's crazy is the ancient Siberian DNA is also the oldest DNA. Oh, play that shit again. What the fuck? Oh.
North America is just across the Atlantic Ocean. The Vikings or Knights Templar also may have brought this DNA back from their travels to the Americas during the past.
Fuck? We might have to go back. Okay. We deleted a word.
Continent. North America is just across the Atlantic Ocean. The Vikings or Knights Templar also may have brought this DNA back from their travels to the Americas during the past 3K year period. It's Native American DNA because sometimes our DNA gets classified as East Asian. Siberians are Native Americans that migrated out of the Americas. Native Americans reached Germany by the 1470s. In 1477, Christopher Columbus met two heavily tatted Native Americans, a man and woman of extraordinary appearance, on a two-canoe boat connected with a sail in Galway, Ireland. Columbus noted men of Cathay Asia have come from the west. Of this we have seen many signs. And especially in Galway in Ireland, a man and a woman of extraordinary appearance have come to land on two tree trunks. In his notes, he also talked about bodies with strange features washing on the shore. It's obvious that these features were Native American features. Asians are just Native Americans. The next time you see an Asian, just knowing you're looking at an ancient descendant of a Native American.
So that's what science has yet to catch up to. If you know this, you know some elite ball knowledge. And I'm so happy to share this knowledge with you guys, actually. If you know and understand that all life, all creation began in the Americas, white people and black people descend from Asians, and Asians come from Native Americans, right? Then you're not a sheep, because a sheep will believe everybody was once black and started in Africa. That's not nowhere near the truth. Black people don't even come from black people. They mutated to look like that. That's a mutation. And then it must be very weak genetics if we all used to look like that. Very weak and recessive genes because it died out in 90% of the planet. Actually, they're not even a quarter of the planet. They're the minority. Them and the white people are the minority. It's because they're the newest. They should be paying me for this education. Yeah, I put a lot of work and energy into and time. Actually, we don't have enough time in the day. Time is being sped up too. I don't have enough time in the day. That's why I gotta document everything that we're talking about, because we're making history right now. Actually, we're making history right now. We're the first generation with the supercomputers that are talking to different tribes and learning the culture from around the world after we've been separated to the four corners. We were all one before, and then we've been separated, and now we're figuring out what happened, and we're putting the pieces together. We're the first generation to put the pieces together. People didn't know before. Now we know. So we're making sense of it now. We're putting the piece together, and we can see the picture. We don't got all the pieces yet, but we can see the picture now. Picture is they lied to us. They added time. They tricked us. They changed us. Have I looked into the mudslides, the mud flood, you mean? Where they added 1,000 years. It wasn't just a mud flood, it was fires too. Even my people had a part in that. So they stormed Buffalo and Fort Niagara in 1812 or 1813. Burned down every single building downtown except for 3 of them. And there was massive fires across all the cities and all the towns in North America from 1812 all the way up until the 1860s. There was either a big fire or a huge flood that burned half the buildings. There was all a bunch of buildings, bunch of old world Tartarian looking buildings. Buffalo has a lot of them actually. But here's the thing, they said that all these were built after they did that. So Buffalo, Seneca has always sided with the British. We fought against America every single time. Against them in the Revolution. The Confederacy split up because we were fighting against the Americans. They tried to make us kill our own kind. And we said, fuck that. So they called us cowards because we wouldn't kill our own people. They'll kill their own people, no problem. We're not going to kill our own kind. The fuck? It's because they would send us to the front lines. They didn't go to the front lines. They'd send us to go do some reconnaissance. You know, go scout ahead, go see if the coast is clear, because they didn't know how to fight. They didn't know how to be free. They didn't know how to wash their ass. They didn't know how to farm. They didn't know how to do shit, actually. Really. We had to teach them everything they know. The technology, the mathematics, the science, all that. They didn't know how to be free. They were paying to a king across the ocean. It's like, what the fuck? Is he here now? No. Start a union the way we did it. That's what they did. They said, we're starting a union like yours. Black Snake, join or die. Iroquois was the Black Snake in Huron. Not join or die, but yep. Alright, flip right to it, join or die. Learn your tribe, yo. Learn your fucking tribe. You come from a tribe, yo. You come from a fucking tribe of people, yo. There's 4 big ones. 4 big ones. Red, black, white, yellow. Hindus from India and Middle Easterners are part of the red tribe too. Egyptians and Hindus, or Mesopotamians. Yep. Lost tribes. Arabs. Yep. Arabs and Hindus are red. All the red people. Yo, you know what I learned though? So, what color was, so you got Jacob and Esau. What color was Jacob? Jacob and Esau was the redhead head, and he had red hair all over him. He was hairy, right? So Jesus was red? Yeah, he wasn't black or what? I heard he was yellow. That was Genghis Khan's father, Yeshua. I heard he was yellow. That's where he went to Tibet and learned the hand mudras. That's why he's always going like this. And he came to the Americas too, actually. That's just a whitewash story. That story happened all over the world, bro. Jesus already happened. It's already happened all over the place. We had our own Jesus. Skanyadayo, 200, 300 years ago. We had 250 years or almost 300 years ago. Quetzalcoatl, Jesus. Mithra, Horus, Vishnu, or not Vishnu, but we all had our own Jesus. Everybody did. He visited a tribe and told them he would return one day. Yeah. They got messengers and they say one of them had holes in his hands. It was like, okay, I see you. I see you. Doing your little special visitations to the chosen people. Look like modern day Egyptian or Persian. And you know what modern day Egyptians look like? Mexicans. Yeah, modern day Egyptians look like fucking Mexicans, yo. Just take the turban off, put a sombrero on them. Trust me, I went there. When I was there, they thought I was Egyptian. I didn't have no tattoos and I had short hair. I was 14. They thought I was a local. Everybody was coming up to me speaking Arabic. I blend right in Egypt when I went. As a Native American that went to Egypt, I went there with short hair and no tattoos when I was 14, and I blended in like a local. Like a local. Straight up. If natives got their land back, what would happen to Afro-Indigenous people? If natives got their land back, what would happen to Afro-Indigenous people? Natives are getting their land back. And we have gotten our land back. Not all of it, but we're getting it back. And if they're not gonna give it back, we'll just buy it back with their own money that they're spending at our casinos that we built after we got done building New York City and all the other cities. Hispanic, Latino, or European labels, not native identities. Yeah. Though a Latino is Christopher Columbus. That's a Latino. An Italian, Latin, Rome, Italy. A Hispanic is a Spaniard, someone from Spain. Hispanic. European misnomers given to Native Americans. They make up majority of the white population, white Latino, white Hispanic. So really, we're the majority. Because white Latino, white Hispanic are people that are white with Native American ancestry. Sometimes they have more Native American ancestry. Anybody that looks Mexican or like Puerto Rican is Native American. That's Native American genetics you're seeing. Anybody that looks American. Anybody that's red. So they got Native Americans, Indigenous Americans identifying as usually around 50% mixed. That's more than a Lumbee. They're not even 1%, some of them. Don't even have the DNA, and they're American Indian. So you see what I mean? Damn, it's pouring out. Anyway, this is the map of America anyway. In the future. That's gold. Earth tweaks and doodoo queef American Indian too? Of course they are. Do you really think they are the same thing that I am? No. One is an Ethiopian faking a Haitian accent. The other one is a white guy. Earth tweaks. So, no. What's your view on the Nephilim building megalithic structures? It's all facts. Facts. The Mayans and Aztecs got pictures or paintings of them doing it. They had super strength. They could move shit. Nephilims are the elder race. Yeah, that's fucking Denisovan. What do you think a Denisovan is, bro? I'll put you on. I'll put you on a game. Look at the Denisovan tooth compared to a human. You guys hear that rain? It's pouring real hard. Who are the descendants of the Denisovan? Native American, red and white. I mean, red and yellow. The red and yellow tribes of man. Yep, New York Giants. There's a couple Giants on my wrist. You got Brave Williams, he's the tallest native. You got Snooky, Halsey. You got a lot of tall young kids that I don't know. You see, it's like, holy fuck, dude, we got some giants walking around. But yeah, all seven. Not all of them, but they're all big as fuck. Like over. If you're over 6'4", you're tall. 6'5", yeah, 6'5", 6'6", you're getting there. Brave is 7'1", or 8. He might be 8. I don't know, yo. He was on a TV show or some special Born Different or something. I don't fucking know. Yeah, like world's tallest native. Why are Icelandic people so big? Are they? I haven't heard that. You know what? If you Kilvister, if you're white, dude, it used to be the opposite. You guys used to be the little guys. You guys were all like 5'5", 5'7", 5'9". Now it's genetics. They're tweaking the genetics. They're making all the white people real big, putting vitamins and growth hormones in the kids with your vaccines and all that. And they're making the other kids weaker by not giving them it or putting other stuff in it. They're putting stuff in the babies that are nowadays, like, if you look at all the old depictions of like Europeans, they're always depicted as like 5'5", 5'7". Now all the Europeans are being born as like 6 foot, all of them. It's like, what the fuck? Something's going on here. So something happened, yo. Like, look at Barron Trump. Look at Barron Trump. He's a giant. It was like, what did Donald Trump do? Pay for Nephilim DNA? It's weird, yo. It's weird. Yeah, we're getting shorter. We're getting shorter and they're getting taller. When it was actually the opposite. Yeah, they're putting something in their food or their vaccines when they're babies or something. They're putting growth hormones because it was the complete opposite. White people were the little people, the smaller people. Yeah, and now they're all bigger than us. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Or maybe, I don't know. Because when the colonizers first came, they sent the losers of Europe. Maybe they were the little guys, and that's why they're so little to us. Now that they came and paved their way for the rest of them to come, the fucking giants came. I don't know. Baby formula, something. Growth hormone, steroids. Denisovans were small? No, they're giant. I think you're thinking of something else. The Hobbit one. Denisovans are big, bro. Yeah, Denisovans were big, bro. That's a Denisovan next to a human. That's a Denisovan molar next to a human molar. That's the Denisovan. That's the Denisovan skull. That's a Susquehannock, a Iroquois speaking tribe next to a European. Boom. Native Americans do possess Denisovan DNA. Not much though, but we carry that Nephilim DNA too, and they put it in our face, dude. Indian comes from Endios, means of God, children of God, right? No beard. Indian degree of blood. Gilgamesh and Nimrod had degree of blood of God. They're 2/3 of God, 3/4 of God. Indians today, you're 3/4 or 2/3 of Indian. Endios of God. 2/3, 3/4 of God. Do you think man's genetics were altered by an extraterrestrial intervention? I heard that somewhere. That's what everybody says, bro. That's what everybody says. Every culture says that, bro. Every culture says that something happened, that extraterrestrial something came here from another place and it made us here. That's what the story is. Something came here from somewhere else. Something smart. Smart enough to make us. Why would my ancient DNA say either Denisovan or Neanderthal? No. It's not going to show up unless you do like a test for it. I don't know if they got tests for it. They do tell you if you got Neanderthal DNA. Maybe they tell you if you got Denisovan. But I never heard of it. Hey guys, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to eat some food, okay? I'll catch y'all later, alright? Let's go and get